What's up? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, for being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room, hitting the light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this beautifully honest reaction, guys. I wanted to share this. This actually was something that was on my mind. I tell you, no lie. And when this showed up as a suggestion for me to check out, this is from over 2 years ago, I said, you know what? Let's check it out. And I'm going to check it out with you all because I've heard little snippets of this interview, Strawberry Letter, live Strawberry Letter with Martellholt, Steve Harvey, and Shirley Strawberry from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. But I never really listened to it because I just wasn't really that interested. But it's so ironic that this showed up in my feed when I was thinking about it. And I said, well, I'm going to do it with you guys. We're going to listen together to this. I'm going to give my in real time reaction to it because I've never listened to it before. But how appropriate is it to go back in time when it comes to somebody like Martell, who is an extreme narcissist? You know, we recently reported that he was ordered to undergo a psych eval by the courts based on things that have transpired between him and his 4 beautiful children. And the fact that he recently did the sit down to try to destroy and dismantle Melody's character with Tasha K. So let's just go ahead and get into it, and I'm going to share my thoughts as it goes through. And I'll have the full link in the description if you want to look at him. I can't stand looking at him, so honestly, the audio is more than enough because even that in itself is a lot. And I did start out talking about Ernesto and Shirley Strawberry, and I honestly just got so exhausted with it because all of the jail calls, while it's a little bit entertaining, it just became overwhelming. And Steve Harvey is not one of my favorite people. And so it was just a lot. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to back off of that. But I may get back into that if you guys want to get my thoughts on some of the conversations that he's been having with his girlfriend and with Shirley, even though we know that the marriage at this point in time, it's not even legal. So at this point, it's just like, what's the point? But let's just go ahead and get into the Strawberry Letter with Martellholt.
Martell reached out to us because, he is getting bashed. And, some people say deservedly so because he cheated. He had a beautiful family and he cheated and lost his family. So now he wants advice. I'm assuming, Martell, you want to move forward and try to, go on with your life, basically. Is that why you're here?
Definitely so. I would definitely say that being a husband and, I'm not going to say not having a father figure or not having a black role model, not having that as an excuse. But, I was really learning trial and error as I was going, so we was married for 12, 13 years. And, we had a lot of ups and downs, great times and not so great times. And, but, I failed. And, that's why I'm here. Because for my future, I want to be better. Here, point blank,
So there he was with the gaslighting. For my future, I want to be better. The future is the next day. The future is the next week, the next month, the next year. Here we are a couple of years after he did this with Steve Harvey and Shirley. And he's sitting down having this bash session to try to destroy Melody's character and say that they both were cheating on each other. But yet, a couple of years ago, he sat there and said that he failed, looking like the mighty Michelin Man with this with this tight shirt on, showcasing every cut and crevice of his arms and his neck and chest.
I don't want to continue to do the things that I've done in the past.
Okay, can I ask a question? Because I don't know the answer to So are you divorced? Are you married? Is it over? Are you trying to reconcile?
Yeah. Well, no. The divorce is final. It was final as about a month ago.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it's life after marriage or life after a divorce, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I do know.
So do I. I know as well.
A lot of experience at this right here, Martell. You call the right man if you're trying to figure out how to do it again.
And you know, that's one of the reasons why I can't stand Steve Harvey, because of what I know about him, of how he treated her first and definitely his second wife, and to try to make it seem like his third wife is just so amazing and helped him to get to where he is. Whatever. But the least I could say about him is at least he wasn't I can't even really say too many good things about Steve Harvey. What am I trying to do? Let me stop right there. Let's just go ahead and continue.
I think marriage is a beautiful thing. It really is. I enjoyed being married. It's just some things that happened up, and I guess I dropped the ball. I really messed up.
Okay. So let me ask you something. When you say you dropped the ball, tell me where you think you went wrong.
I guess thinking that I deserve more. Well, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, careful.
I think I was being greedy. You know, and at times, you know, I would definitely say that I was saying that my wife wasn't doing certain things within the relationship, but I guess I should have communicated that in a different way, opposed to stepping out, you know?
Okay, yeah. Okay, what we're not going to do is we're just going to tell your truth. We're going to leave your ex-wife. We're not going to bash or blame
no,
Melody.
No, not at all. Not at all.
We're not going to do that.
I was just saying how I messed up, how I should have handled it in a different way.
How the times have changed and the tides have turned. Because did you catch that just now? He wasn't even bashing Melody at that point in time, but Shirley checked him when it wasn't even a checkable moment, because he actually wasn't bashing her at that time. He actually said, I think I was being greedy, and you know, I may have been saying that there were things that I wasn't getting in the marriage, but I should have communicated those things better. So even that wasn't even a bash, but she checked him, and maybe she was trying to stop him in his tracks because she had already gotten a glimpse of who he was. So she was trying to prevent him from going there, which I do respect. But again, 2 years ago, and here we are now, and I don't have anything good to say about Melody.
Yeah.
So no bashing, no negativity, anything of that nature. I'm looking to move forward.
I kind of felt that from you.
But there was a lot of that, though, Steve, which is why I said it.
Yeah.
On the show, a lot of
there was a lot of that.
Yeah. Well, he didn't do it just now. I ain't seen the show, so let me keep saying that.
That's how the women come at me, just like she just did. Mm-hmm. That's how they come at me. And I haven't even.
Oh, that's forever, dog.
Yeah.
hey, Martell, that's forever. Living this one down gonna be.
But Martell, you're here. You wanted to come. We allowed you to come. We welcome you to the show, and we do want you to tell your side of it. We welcome Melody to do the same thing if she would like to.
Well, when we come back, I have a couple of questions that you can answer for me, and then we'll go from there. Our special guest today is martellholt from
Love and Marriage Huntsville on the OWN channel.
Straight up on I-65.
We'll be back at 23 minutes after. Right after this.
Nassau Space.
That's right.
All right, Steve, we are back with our live Strawberry Letter. Like we said earlier, the first one we've done in many, many years. Our special guest today is Martell Holt from the OWN Network's Love and Marriage Huntsville. We can recap. So do you have an idea of kind of what's going on now, Steve? I know you said you haven't watched the show.
I haven't watched the show, but this brother's on here. He had a family. He lost a family because he
cheating.
Well, yeah, he didn't know how to do it, and he said in his own words he was just greedy. And so it caused the demise of his family. Well, I just pulled a picture and looked up beautiful family. And so the divorce is final now. So let me ask you this, Martell. If you could do anything differently, what would you have done?
If I could have done anything differently, what would have been? I think the communication with my wife. I think just like what she mentioned to me, what I should have done is I should have literally grabbed her and set her down and had that adult conversation, opposed to the things that I was complaining about. I would just complain candidly, opposed to really saying, hey, listen, we have an issue. Let's sit down. Let's talk about it, because it's making me feel a certain way that wouldn't be pleasant for our marriage.
So, he's putting on and trying to make it seem like he's an adult. But even with that being said, the way he's saying it there, it still was all about him, about what he wasn't getting. And instead of just, he's saying, maybe I should have just been more direct and sat down and had the conversation about what I wasn't getting, instead of just speaking about it candidly. What the hell are you talking about? But even again, him saying those things, he's not saying she was cheating on me, she was beating my ass, she was abusive, she wasn't taking care of the kids, she was always going to McDonald's and working and out with the girls while I'm taking care of all the kids, cooking the meals, working all the time, paying all the bills. Like, he's just, yeah.
Like what she mentioned, I better communication.
Okay, now let me ask you something. Were you, while you were having these verbal complaints, was there anything you was doing that deserved a complaint?
Well, she wasn't complaining about too much. We had children. We have children, and a lot of the times I was like the more dominant parent. No, it wasn't anything that she was complaining about. It wasn't.
Well, now let me ask you this, though, dog. Was it? No. Was it she wasn't complaining because she didn't know everything?
Right.
I'm not sure. I mean, so we'd have to have her on the phone for that, because
let me ask you this. Really... was you hiding the cheating part pretty good, and for how long? Before she confronted you about it.
Yeah, I was, when I was complaining, when I started to complain, that's around the same time that I stepped out.
Yeah. When
I started to complain, certain things wasn't adjusted the way I wanted it, which was selfish. But this one I stepped out.
Yeah.
All right, you heard him say he was selfish. I mean, we know this, but he says he was selfish. Around the same time he started complaining, he stepped out. But he's trying to make it seem like, well, she was good because she didn't have any complaints. I'm quite sure there was a lot of things that Melody had issues with, that she spoke about, that she complained about, but he isn't somebody that listens because it's all about him.
No, it went on for about a year before she found out.
It went on for a year. Now, let me ask you something. Do you think in your mind that the stepping out also brought about the demise of the relationship?
I would definitely say so, because that probably took something out of me that could have been going toward my wife, and I was issuing over here to someone else. So I totally agree with that.
So does that sound like somebody who was in an equally infidelis, if you want to use that as a word, relationship where she was cheating on him, so he cheated on her? Here we go.
There's a baby involved, Steve.
What you mean?
He has a baby with this other woman.
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
He has a baby.
You can tell him about 5 years on down the line. Yeah.
Wait a minute, dog. What?
Yeah.
See, you don't watch the show, Steve. He has a whole baby with this other woman. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, dog. The other woman got pregnant?
She did. I mean, this is when we said that we were going to get a divorce and all that type of stuff. So it's not like it happened earlier on, but it happened.
Well, hold on now. Hold on. Because after she found out you was cheating, how long were you all married after she found out?
5 years.
It took her 5 years to find out?
No. She found out 5 years ago.
Oh, okay. So she stayed with you after she found out you was cheating?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And, but, okay, how old is the baby, the new baby?
Newborn.
It was born around Christmas, right? Around
This Christmas?
No, it's a newborn.
A newborn?
It's a newborn. It's like he's talking about a puppy. You know what I mean? It's a newborn. He can't even really admit to it. Steve himself, being somebody who has not been known to be the most fidelous individual, was shocked when he learned that he had a baby with the other person. And he didn't want to admit to it.
Everybody trying to say when a baby was born. Don't nobody know.
Well, when was it born?
That's what the hell I asked.
When was it born?
See, hey, dog, hey, Martell, understand something. We can't undo none of this. So I'm just trying to get the facts. Okay. So I just leave it alone. You got a newborn, but you have how many children with your wife, the woman you were married? You got 4 kids. How close in age is the last 2? See.
Well, Melania, she is 1.5, and my third is 5. So it's like a 4-year difference.
Whew. She found out 5 years ago. God,
So he has a... Well, before I wanted to say this too, Steve. Before we do run out of time, Martell did come on here to get some advice from you.
No, that's what we're going to do. That's why we go. This is longer than 2 strawberry letters.
Yes, it is.
We finna carry this over to break number 3. Because I do want to hear the soldier out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because look, I've been there. And then, men can quit tripping. Every man know this story. Stop acting brand new. Every man know this story.
All right, hold up, Steve. We'll have part 3 of the Strawberry Letter with our special guest. This live Strawberry Letter with Martell Holt from Love and Marriage Huntsville. We'll be back at 46 minutes after the hour, right after this. All right, here we are, Steve, live with Martell Holt from Owns Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, Martell has come on for advice.
He's come on the show for advice. Now, I've had to get some background. Took me 2 breaks to get the background. Martell was married to a woman. They have a family together. He admittedly stepped out and now found out there's another child involved. And the divorce is final. And so now here he is. And he's admitted that he did some things wrong. What I learned myself was you can't fix in your house. You can't fix what's wrong in your house outside your house.
That's correct.
A lot of men go that route, to be honest with you. There's something wrong and they start telling it to somebody and somebody give a listening in. Next thing you know, they listening real good and they seem to be understanding. The next thing you know, some things jump off. So, Martell, where we at right now, man? What would you like to accomplish with this phone call?
So right now, I guess I am going through a tough time because we do have our 4 children. Our divorce just has been over, about a month ago now. And I guess I do want to move forward. But I guess I need to know, how do I move on in terms of, do I start to, I'm not going to say start dating someone now, but what does the future look like?
Well, you've been doing that. So.
I'm going to pause it right there because the fact of the matter is he thought him coming on the Steve Harvey Morning Show, doing this live Strawberry Letter and putting himself out there was going to somehow cause Melody to change her mind, give him another chance. The divorce has only been about a month. He didn't even want the papers to be signed. That's why she had to scream at him to sign the papers. And then he's talking about he needs to know, how does he move on? How to not even move on. He never said move on. He said, how do I move forward? And he's like, I'm not talking about dating anyone, because the fact of the matter is he wanted his wife back. And not that he wanted her. He wanted the life and the lifestyle that he was accustomed to having. And now that it's been a few years since he's been missing that lifestyle and everything that he touches turns to shit, he is flailing.
Date.
No, don't worry about that. But see, man, let me say this. Because I don't care how a marriage go. At the end of the day, the children had nothing to do with it. And every man that has been found guilty of this, every last one of us who have been guilty of this have had to grapple with the facts that we blew a family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We messed up a family.
Yeah, that's what I'm battling with right now too.
Yeah, man, because it's hard, man, because in the words of Tyrese in that song Shame, what am I supposed to tell these kids? See, that's the gripper. And that's where a lot of us as men, we don't have groups to help us through these moments like this. Okay.
Well, he is seeing a therapist, Steve, by the way. Martell is.
Who is? A therapist?
Yeah, he's seeing a therapist.
Yeah.
I have.
Is the therapist, is he divorced?
No, he's been married, for about 30-something years. And my thing is, the reason I wanted to speak with you, Steve, honestly, is because I feel that you've been through some things in life.
That's what I'm saying.
And you are like the best person to seek advice from, someone that has actually been through something.
And I'm going to talk to you. You don't go learn how to swim, somebody can't swim. You play golf from somebody know the golf swing. If you're in therapy, you're talking to a dude ain't never been divorced. I mean, what? What we talking about here?
I don't agree with that. Yes, of course, for specific things, you need to learn from an expert, somebody who knows the skill. But I think one of the best therapists you could speak to if you're dealing with relationship issues is someone who has been married for over 35 years. So that to me sounds absolutely ridiculous. And two, we know that Holt has definitely not been an active participant in therapy. And anything that he's done in therapy, it has either been court ordered or it has been a scene for the show. He was not an active participant or even recipient of the advice that was given to him. You know what I'm saying? So, quite frankly, yeah, Steve may have some good advice as a man to another man who has effed up some relationships previously and maybe now in one that works for him. But Martell really was looking for attention and hoping that this was going to be something that was going to open up Melody's eyes to make her feel like he really wants to start over, a new beginning. And she was like, I'm going to have a new beginning, but on my own.
That's my opinion.
I totally agree.
I got
That's
you.
mine too.
All right. We're going to come back more. Break number 8.
All right, more with Martell Holt from Love and Marriage, Huntsville, right after this. This is the Steve Harvey Morning Show. All right, our special guest. This is a special live edition of the Strawberry Letter for today. Our guest is Martell Holt. That's right, I said Martell Holt from Love and Marriage Huntsville on OWN. Martell reached out to us. He is seeking advice from Steve. He wants to move on now. He wants to move on. And it's nothing wrong with that because that is life. You have to move on. You know, that's how we learn. We make mistakes. We move on. Steve.
Now, Martell has informed me of what happened. He had a marriage, had some things going wrong in it. He didn't know how to handle it. He admittedly handled it the wrong way. He lost his family. Divorce is final. He has children and another child outside the marriage. And today he's sitting here faced with what I know a lot of men are faced with. You know, I've had to look at it myself. And so what I'm saying to you now, Martell, is if I were you to move forward, because you are now, your divorce is public. It's crazy. So now, you getting ate up alive by women. They not trying to hear you. But the one thing you could do, see, the one thing men don't do is we don't do closure.
Right.
And sometimes, man, closure is a very significant thing for women, especially public, because since your wife was embarrassed publicly,
humiliated.
It's like when the newspaper make a mistake and the rebuttal, it'd be front page mistake, but then the rebuttal be in the classified section in small print. We made a mistake. They don't do that. So probably the beginning of helping your girl and yourself and your kids is to publicly apologize to her and admit your wrong in it so that she can get some type of relief from what she's been feeling with publicly. You feel what I'm saying?
I do 100%.
And ask for forgiveness.
That's what she's not gonna forgive him. That's not finna happen.
He can ask.
Don't worry about that. That ain't what you after. He has to make her whole, not himself whole. Yeah. See? And so what he trying to do is find a way so he can kind of put something together for this woman. I think that would be an interesting way to go about it, to publicly address this situation and put her at ease so she's not at fault for some of the things you may have said publicly about her. It was just probably you lashing out, trying to cover and all this here. Because I know, man, look, man, when we as men do wrong, we justify our wrong with telling the woman what she did wrong that caused us to do wrong.
And that's what I've been doing for quite some time. Well, listen, Steve, I see Shirley, she's mentioning certain things in terms of like I publicly said this and that. So we started filming the show. I didn't want to put our business on TV. I didn't want to publicly talk about.
Oh, but the show did.
But no, they did it. They did it. No one would have known anything. No one would have known anything. I mean, it's a reality show. We choose and pick what we want to put out there. Mm-hmm. And it was a surprise to me when she hit me with it. It was a surprise and shock when she hit me with it. And it was on TV, so that was the first of it right there.
So he's basically trying to blame Melody for the end of the marriage, for the demise of the relationship, and for all of his business being out there on Front Street, because he's basically like, well, it was a shock to me that she even talked about it because we weren't supposed to talk about these things. It doesn't matter if she said, I'm not talking about these things, and she chose to do so. It's her life that she was living, and he wanted to keep things in the dark, covered up, not being known to the public, and wanting her to suffer in silence while he continued to live this lifestyle of living off of the back of her hard work, her brains, him sleeping around, doing whatever he wanted to do, and her just sitting there and taking it and hopefully having some more kids. It's crazy.
I tell people all the time, if you want your marriage to not survive, put it on TV.
Right.
Put it on TV.
Put that damn thing on TV, because now you can't work it out by yourself. I think the beginning, though, Martell, is the public statement to make her whole again and not yourself.
That, Steve. I like that.
That's the beginning, because it provides an element of closure. And then after that, there is a little bit of suffering that you have to endure. I did it, man. I know. And mine wasn't entirely my fault either. I can tell you flat out. But in the court of public opinion, it don't matter.
The man is wrong.
Oh, doggy. In the court of public opinion, it doesn't matter.
Don't be a victim, Martell.
No. I'm just saying it just doesn't matter. I'm not saying to be a victim. It just don't matter. A dude, I don't give a damn what you say. So it's going to be a level of suffering that you have to endure because of the pain that was inflicted.
That's a great point. But to a narcissist, they never see themselves as wrong, and they do want other people to suffer. That's why it was revealed that he was beating on the kids. and threatening corporal punishment and all of these other things because he's angry. He's suffering. So because he's suffering, he feels that other people should endure the same or worse. And it's ridiculous. So you have to really have some level of emotional intelligence to realize that. And somebody like him, he absolutely doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, because no matter what you going through, it pales in comparison to what this woman who done had these kids had to go through.
Do you still love her, Martell?
There you go.
Oh, I definitely love her. Yeah.
Are you still in love with her? Are you still in love with your ex-wife?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
And that's the thing. He doesn't love her. He didn't love her. So him saying, I'm not in love with her, that actually was the truth. Him saying he still loves her, definitely not true. But him saying he's not in love with her, definitely true. Because I've said this repeatedly. Nobody can tell me that he loves that woman or that he even loved her. Because love doesn't do these things. Love wouldn't do those things. Not saying that you're not human and you don't make bad decisions, but the things that he has done repeatedly over and over again, I'm just like, no, there's no way you could tell me that he actually loved that woman.
I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, it hurts me to say that. To be, it hurts me a lot to say that, but I'm not.
Okay, this is part what?
Well, there's a lot of people listening to this. You can't just say.
We're on our way to part 9. I know.
Hold on, yeah, we got to take a quick break.
This ain't
here,
no strawberry letter. This is life.
This is a reality show.
This is
real life.
Welcome to the Steve Harvey reality show, everybody. Brought to you by Monica Barnes, Carla Farrell, and Shirley Strawberry.
All right,
Tommy and Junior just hanging on. And Martell, all we know is
we trying to hang out with you,
Martell.
Hang on, Martell. Okay, we got to take a quick break here. We'll be back with more of this live Strawberry Letter reality show right after this. All right, we're back with part 5. It is part 5. Of our live Strawberry Letter
12.
of our live Strawberry Letter reality show today with our special guest Martell Holt, who reached out to us. He wanted some advice during the Strawberry Letter segment, and that is what we do. We give advice, and Martell is here seeking that, and we're trying to do that. And Carla, during the break, you said,
"Hold on 1 second." He came on the show. He told me his situation. His wife is divorced. He had outside relationships. There's another baby involved. The divorce is finalized. He loves his wife. He's not in love with her. And his whole thing was, what can I do to move forward? My first suggestion is to provide this woman with some type of closure. What you publicly did to her and said to her, the apology has to be at that same level. See, it kills me when people talk about me on the internet. Then when I catch them somewhere, they want to say I'm sorry in the dressing room. No, your ass get on that same internet you was on when you was talking all that yak. And then when I got up in your face, man to man, now you down to something else. Our breaks is too damn short.
And Steve, they really. And okay, I have a question too. Go ahead, Carla. You wanted to say something here.
I think, Martell, what's missing is, I watched the show and I've talked about the show. You just did not show any remorse. It did. Yeah, you broke her heart. And you saw that over and over. And as a woman, as women, we watching Melody, we're on Team Melody because we understand how she feels. And I'm just saying what you're saying right now, what Steve is saying, to apologize publicly and say these things. But the one thing that I never got from you is that you were sorry that you broke your wife's heart. And I just did not get that genuinely from her, from you. And even the conversations when you guys were on the show, you talked about what you weren't getting from her. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Hold on. Hold on. We're going to give you a chance, Martell, to respond and to make it right. Try to make it right.
He never did that, and he never will. And even if there was some fake apology, it was for the moment to try to get something that he thought that he was going to be able to get. It was always about him, what he isn't getting, what she isn't doing, all the stuff that he does. And it's just always about him. Man, go F yourself. Like, that's how I feel.
And all of that, but we got to take another break, and we'll be back with more of this live Strawberry Letter reality show right after this.
Hey, listen, y'all, we back. I'm taking this kind of fast. Martellholt is on the phone with us today on the radio. His family's broken up. His wife has divorced him. He was unhappy. He stepped out. There's another child involved. Carla brought up an interesting point while we've been talking about all of this, is that the reason so many women are Team Melody is because they kind of watched you break her on television with some of the things you said. And Carla said you never seemed quite remorseful about it in a sincere way. How do you respond to that, Martell?
I'm very sorry. And, I didn't want to bring this against my family. It was many times that I prayed on my knees and asked the Lord to really, for real, remove this sin from me, but it's like I kind of fell for this person and it got out of hand. And now that we're on a reality show, it's like my back is against the wall. And then I guess if you guys know about reality shows, they get to run the narrative the way they want to run it. It's a lot of things that y'all women are saying on this TV show that I really would not do in real life.
See, and then it goes back to the blame. You're blaming the reality show. You're blaming the women that watch it. You're blaming editing instead of blaming your own actions. But in that moment, a little quick, well, yeah, I'm sorry about but then you go into blaming. And that's exactly what Carla was talking about. And exactly what a lot of other women like myself have seen. Because I said over and over again, not every woman that watches this is trauma bonding. Because thank the good Lord, I've never experienced anything like Melody has experienced. But just being a woman with feelings and emotional intelligence, I can empathize with somebody and say that this shit that he has been doing to this woman is not right. Period. And it doesn't make me a millimeter. It just makes me a woman that has common sense.
The editing is very serious. I tell you that. The editing is very serious. And, I've been very apologetic to my wife. And it's...
But Martell, you can't control who you are on that show, because there has to be a way that you can control who you are. They can't make the Martell be the Martell they want it to be just because they want ratings. You have to be able to control the Martell that you want, the Martell that's portrayed out there.
Well, now let me say this too, because
that sounds really good. But when they put you in, when you want to meet 5 different people that you really would not meet in real life, that makes you feel some type of way. I'm up here meeting people, telling them about my relationship that I normally wouldn't do. What I'm supposed to do? Tell the producers that I'm not going to meet today? Right. No, that's my job. And they want me to go meet this person today.
But I think what Tommy is saying is this, Martell. My father told me something a long time ago, real simple, man. He said, son, don't give them a pen to stick you with. Mm-hmm. And I think you gave them too much fuel. I think you said some things that they didn't have to really embellish, just play it.
Yeah.
And, sometimes, man, when we in front of people, we flex a little bit.
Right.
And I think to my understanding is there was a lot of flexing on the show. Because, when the camera's on, everybody want to appear in their best light. And you appeared in your best light, put her in her worst light.
Yeah.
And that's and that has cost you a family. When we come back, man, we're going to talk about that, the importance of the family. And after you apologize to her publicly, not privately, what I think as Steve Harvey you should do to move forward. And I think we'll be able to put some type of closure to the situation.
So funny. sitting there blaming editing, blaming the show, blame, pointing the fingers and the thumbs at everybody else. And it was just funny sitting there listening to him do this. It's like, this nigga cannot take accountability to save his own life. And they were actually trying to save him because he asked for it. He asked. But it's like, they can't be Captain Save a Hole. You can't save that hole. And clearly they weren't able to do it, because here we are in real time and he has been arrested, charged, out here flailing on social media and people's comment sections, doing these interviews to try to blast his ex-wife, saying he doesn't have anything nice to say about her because his life is going flat.
I like that.
All right,
That's good, Steve.
We'll be back with our last break of the day with Martell Holt from Love and Marriage Huntsville right after this.
Get some more coffee.
All right, Steve, here we are, our last break of the day. Our very special guest today from Owns Love and Marriage Huntsville has been Martell Holt, who reached out to us. He wanted some advice during the Strawberry Letter, and that's what we were, here trying to do, because I, believe in redemption. I mean, we would tell the same person who wrote in with these same issues, about redemption and forgiveness and things like that, and public apologies, like you said. So that's what we're here for. Go ahead.
Listen, just to recap it, this brother called in. He made some mistakes in his marriage. He knows that. He stepped outside.
He did not make mistakes. He made horrible choices and decisions. They were not mistakes. But go ahead.
Family. He wants to move forward. There's another child involved. And we've been talking. And one of the things that I know that men are not good at is we're not good at closure. Now, the thing about this brother is it's a lot of men out here that are him. A lot of men out here can know exactly where he's coming from. Let's stop all this. We righteous. Damn, oh, man, I can't believe you did that. Yeah. Okay. And this is a story that's played out in a lot of places. This is played out all over the country, all over the world, all of the time. And it ain't just this. The days have changed. It's women doing the exact same thing now. It's just, I will be truthful with you. Women are way better at it.
We're smarter.
They're just better at it. So now, Martell, as I talked to you about apologizing, you thought that would be a good move to do publicly for her, to give her some closure, because, what was done publicly can only be undone publicly. You're not going to get your family back. You're not in love anymore, but you do love her. I saw a picture of your family, man. Beautiful family. So now moving forward, man, here's what we have to do as men. We cannot, even though we make a mistake and we cost ourselves the family structure, we cannot crumble the fiber of the family. Because them kids ain't got nothing to do with this.
Right.
And kids are affected by divorce.
Yes, they are.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they are.
For sure.
They are affected. And so what they have to know at the end of this, Martell, from my standpoint, is they have to know that their daddy loved them more than he loves anything else. Your children have to know that you love them more so than you love anything else you've ever done. And so it becomes a part of, if you and the wife can be cool enough to sit in front of the children and show a unified front. I don't know where y'all at with that. I don't know if that's doable. I don't know if the hurt is too much right now. Because sometimes it takes time. And like Bishop Jakes told me, he said, man, you can't just say I'm sorry and expect to walk back in there tomorrow and it's all good.
Right.
He said, that's not how this works.
That's how it used to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because somebody got injured.
Yeah.
And even though they put a bandage on it,
deeply,
the pain is still there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming, Martell, you called because look, man, obviously you love your family, your kids.
Most definitely.
And so we gotta get in there, man, and produce. What, Shirley?
You're saying step one, Steve, is to publicly apologize on his road to redemption and getting, moving forward with his life. You're saying that step one is to publicly apologize.
See, the Lord's Prayer says, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. You can't expect God to show you grace and mercy if you don't exhibit grace and mercy.
Yeah, because
you know what I mean?
That was one of the things that upset the women so much, is that the arrogance that you had. It seemed like you were just so arrogant about it, and just I did it, whatever.
What it is.
You kept lying about it, and all of that, and that's what infuriated us. You were so arrogant. So now,
because at the beginning, I didn't want the whole country in my business. First off, because it wasn't
you're on a reality show.
No, stop. I mean, it wasn't a plan of Martell.
See, he continues to do that. It's that machismo nigga bull crap that he does. He's pretty much telling Shirley Strawberry to shut up. No. Hold on. No, just stop. When she's telling him what we're watching, what we see. And he's blaming other people for what we see, which are his actions.
To put because I knew what was going to happen if it got out. So I didn't want it to be out. So yeah, I'm going to lie. But at first I'm like, no, I wasn't cheating.
I didn't want it to be out. So yeah, I'm going to lie because I didn't want it to be out. Instead of, I didn't want to continue to be a horrible husband. So I wanted to try to change my ways from the terrible choices and decisions that I've made. No, I wanted to just cover it up. I didn't want anybody to know about it. He just wanted Melody to continue to sit down and take it.
She knew, and I knew. And to me, that should have been it. It shouldn't have been brought to you guys. It should have been brought to the world, Because I knew it was going to happen. So I was lying about it.
At least you're honest about that.
I'm perfectly well, listen to me, Shirley. Every man on this show understands that right there.
He's honest about lying.
Before.
Hold it down.
You have got to lie.
We only have a couple of minutes left, so let's let Martell have the floor so he can publicly apologize.
Go ahead, Martell.
Okay. So to Melody, the person I've been with for over 14 years. I grew up with you. We've accomplished a lot in life. We got 4 beautiful children, and I wouldn't be the person that I am. And I'm not talking about the negative things, but I wouldn't be the person I am without you. I do love you. I love what we stood for, and it's my deepest hope that we can, co-parent together, accomplish that, and make sure that we raise our children in the same way that we wanted to raise them when we're together. So I just want to know that I am sorry to have put you through this, my children through this, our families through this. It hurts me, and I know it hurts you just as much as it hurts me, and I'm sorry, Melody, for everything that I've done, everything. And I thank you for the opportunities that you gave me. You gave me plenty of chances to get it right. God gave me plenty of chances to get it right. I remember us talking about things in terms of God blessing us and showing us favor, and then every time I step out, we lose that favor. And to you, I wish you the best in life, your career, and from the bottom of my heart, I am sorry. I am.
Yeah. Well, brother, I think it's sincere.
It is. Yes,
man, it's not. It's nothing else you can do, and
yeah,
saying it is so. It's just saying it helps a little bit.
Yeah.
It don't fix nothing, but at least, man, when a woman can hear you publicly say it and hear her name and hear how you feel about the kids, it just gives them some type of public relief, because y'all been beat up in the media so bad, man. So look, man, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on to say this, to get some advice, and you took it, man. And you're a decent person, man. It's look, we make mistakes, When you make mistakes, you got to get up and go again, man. Just go out there, man, and be the best, absolute best dad that you can be to them children, man. Don't let them feel no pain because of this, man. And then keep talking to God about it, man. And one day, man, this will all get better. So we thank you for joining us, Martell Holt. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, Martell.
I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, so he definitely did not take any of Steve Harvey's advice. What he said at that moment in time was just at that moment in time. It was a speech. It was to hopefully be able to do what he's been able to do all of these years that he has been telling Melody, I'm sorry, I messed up. I'm sorry, I messed up. I'm sorry, I messed up. I made a mistake. Just continuously saying, I'm sorry. And we know saying, I'm sorry actually is not an apology. The best apology is changed behavior. And he never changed his behavior, and actually he's just gotten worse. So I wonder, in light of all of this, and I know Steve Harvey is not sitting here studying Martell Holt and Love and Marriage Huntsville and the things that have been happening since he's had him on the show, but I do wonder, like, if he saw the things that are going on now, what does he think in light of the present versus what happened in the past on his show when he did their live Strawberry Letter? That was just an act. It was something to get the attention of Melody. Hopefully he can get back in good graces with her and work his way back into being in a relationship with her again. And Melody is just done. And because he knows that he's done and his turkey is completely fried, he is flailing because his life is not going the way that he would want it to go. You know, everything is about the business, and we build a great life together. She built it. You were there along for the ride. But guys, let me know your thoughts about this past interview. Let me know your thoughts about my reaction to it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Guys, thank you so much for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.